was banned out by blue side last game, actually. Making sure nobody would get it. And the Fizz, 26 seconds to lock this in, something that teammate uses in their fight compositions. Obviously, they are mechanically gifted enough to bring that out, but it's a Shen. They're just flipping around, putting ideas in the mind of Cloud9.
Shen is just so good right now. He's a flex pick between top and support if they've been playing it. He can get around the map with global pressure. He's so hard to turret dive as well, whether it's the support or it's the top laner. They really, you get that taunt level 2, level 1, it's so easy to pull it off in a lane swap.
Ball's going back to the Rumble. We actually saw his first loss on that come in Week 5 against Impulse. That's when he played against Impact. Now to try it again, we've heard Zion Spartan say in his footage that he would never give balls Rumble again. That is a mistake. He only made twice. Looks like CaliTrolz and the team feel it's an okay thing to let go.
Overall record 17-1 in the North American LCS for balls
crazy.
On Rumble.
And they get second pick Alistar too, so that went through to their side.
At that point, you give up Shen, you give up Alistar. These power picks, there's so many right now that you're going to be giving away some. But Team 8 go for a big front line, some dive, and they pick up the Ezreal. Goldenglue does have Smite already. He can swap that over, and it could be Nien on that champion. But I don't think it is.
Interesting picks. We could all throw us for a loop and put Jarvan in the mid lane and just give Nien Ezreal in the end, right?
That's true. The Twisted Fate ban kind of tips me off that it's going to be the Ezreal in mid lane. And here's the thing is we've seen Ezreal mid lane countered by Jarvan and Twisted Fate. You ban one, you pick the other for your own jungler, even though the things that are left are kind of like Evelynn and Nidalee, because the Rek'Sai and the Gragas are already banned. It's a great jungle pick. I was still a huge fan of Xiao Xiao's Ahri. It's the only one we've seen solo out an Ezreal in the mid lane. The other one's definitely able to keep him down. It's going to be a Corki and a Lee Sin, though. Cloud9 let the clock tick down. They are going to be able to lock in some craziness in the jungle for high. Looks like he's going to be trying to make plays on Lee Sin. It's his most played champion in solo queue at the moment, because he started going back to playing a whole bunch of junglers. So he had about 3 games on Rek'Sai before he played it yesterday. He's got a little bit more on Lee Sin.
Some players say we don't need that much time to do this or that, but you miss the tiny things, the tiny little Easter eggs for each champion that can play through. With Rek'Sai knowing a lot of the areas to tunnel in and out is one of those. Cost him there. Hurt him a little bit yesterday, but Lee Sin a bit safer in that aspect. He should be able to make some plays. Kog'Maw, possibly the Bard lock in here for Team A. I don't think that's really something that they've gone towards at all. Thresh, Nautilus, Morg around the board there for the bottom.
Oh, man.
They're giving a little crowd tribute. Well, the Jinx would be pickable here, but they go for the Graves with the Thresh, so they lock it in. Switching around a little bit in the end there. Not really throwing anybody off, but making sure they're going into this one with good spirits, and it seems so. Having a little fun.
So it will be the AP Ezreal, and they get to go with this last pick, figure out what they want to play into it here for Cloud9. What do they have up their sleeve when everything else besides the Ahri that's been played into Ezreal and has been successful has been taken off the table?
Does he go save Azir? Does he just hang back in the lane?
Does he go AP Kog'Maw and try to answer the poke with poke?
Oh. I haven't actually seen that too much. Poke on poke.
Victor.
I don't think it's going to happen, though, unfortunately. Victor is actually a pick they could also go with here. Will he lock in the
goes
Zed?
With the Zed?
They put the Zed on the table. A little bit of AP from Corki. Got the Rumble ultimate from, or Equalizer, I should say, from Rumble, so
everybody's
play into it.
Everybody's been saying, just let Incarnation play an assassin. Let him play his Zed, because that's what he's been making highlight clips that make front page all the time.
Just let him be untempered for a game.
Exactly. See what he can do on this Zed on the LCS stage. A comfort champion for him against an Ezreal.
So interesting. You obviously keep the wave pushed up against him. It's going to be difficult in that sense. It's an interesting pickup, though, and one where, like you said, we finally get to see Incarnation, if he does, make plays. If he actually plays this very carefully, and defense is not going to be a good offense for Zed. So we're going to have to see him go hard.
And a big thing about this, too, is we just saw Ezreal countered by not just engage, but also split push.
That's true.
Split pushing and looking at the team and saying, do they have enough wave clear to deal with this between an AP Ezreal and a Graves? Is that enough wave clear? Because Shen doesn't wave clear very effectively, but Shen will eventually get to the point where he can duel the Zed.
Very interesting comps to come out. Goldenglue will get the Ez in the mid lane, but it's going to be versus Incarnation Zed. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Head over to Twitter and start voting for which team you think will get the victory screen this time. Send either hashtag T8win, hashtag C9win to @LOL Esports. We'll update that once we are in the game, and the fan vote, it'll keep moving, so keep your votes coming. Final game here coming into week 6. It is going to be Teammate versus Cloud9. Teammate looking to climb out of the bottom of that table. So is Cloud9, oddly enough.
Cloud9, they brought High back, and they brought him back for his shot calling. And CaliTrolz is a guy who, he's been the shot caller of Teammate, and he hasn't really had those miraculous calls that he was looking for from last Split's Challenger season.
Yep, and CaliTrolz himself actually had something to say on High's return.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I think bringing High would mean a lot better shot calling. However, it comes down to High not being as experienced in jungle, obviously, because Meteos has been jungling for like who knows, like, and I'm not as afraid of them. Like, I don't think they're as ready.
Well, if it's something CaliTrolz has never been, it's afraid of his opponents.
Yeah.
He is always willing to dive in, to jump into whatever fight, even if the odds are against him. Even if the math is against him.
Which sometimes hurts a little bit. We've seen that play against them, but I think everybody has the same feeling about that. We've heard, you know, our junglers, Kobe, and some of the guys saying that it's not that easy to go back to that role specifically, or any role, but still, the communication from the early game is what we see. It fizzles out when it starts being the fights.
Yeah, I think about when Kobe just gave junglers that great compliment. He said it's the most cerebral role in League of Legends. I was like, oh man, just... yes, give me these compliments to my role. But it is a very cerebral role. You have to think about everything that's going on, how to manipulate the map, and basically play chess with it. It's High's old role, and now that he's returned to it, there is rust there.
Yep.
It's how quick can he shake it off and still conduct Cloud9 in the old manner, with Incarnation, a new member in the mid lane, who plays a different style than High.
Well, usually able to beat around the bush pretty well in the early game and get his team into the right spots, avoiding too much aggression and really allowing the team to get an advantage before they even see their opponent. They work around and off the ball. Cloud9 used to be very good at that. It was usually Meteos in the jungle to start it, but as we said, those calls were coming from the mid lane at the time, and now he's in the jungle. LemonNation and Sneaky are going to enter the bottom lane here as we do get the lane swap. Nien and Dodo towards the top side. We see Dodo still roaming around with the jungle for now as they get the push on the turrets. We've seen this for a few games today.
Yeah, take down these turrets and get some damage on them with no answer. But you can see on the top side of the map, Cloud9 is actually here much earlier than Teammate is to that top side turret. They're actually clearing another buff as a 3-man group before they go to that top turret because they were slow shoving it. This is a much faster shove here from Cloud9.
Yeah, looks like Nien's just going to be able to farm that one out. Happy with it. 3, 4 towards the top side. They are avoiding pretty much everything right now on the side of C9 and happy with it. 2 wards as well. 2 wards is better than 1.
I don't know about this situation, but yes, 2 wards definitely better than 1. Not there.
Not there. Though they do have one that keeps them a bit safe. I don't think we're going to see Cloud9 coming to this top side here. So a little gentleman's agreement in the early game with the lane swap. Turrets will go down on either side. We'll see what the matchup provides. Now it's who gets caught in transition, who gets caught during the roam. Both Dodo on Thresh and LemonNation on Alistar can make those plays.
It's true. These supports both have playmaking potential with these champions. And who can unlock?
A little bit longer for Teammate in the top side. You can see the Week 3 matchup between these teams. Bit of a bloody matchup. 30 kills there in 30 minutes. Might get the same out of this one here. Incarnation on Zed, and the rest of the team look like they want to go in for fights. And already starting with the first dragon, they tried to give themselves a lead. 4 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Cloud9 picks up dragon number 1.
That's really the only advantage taken from all of that, despite the top lane turret going down a little bit slower.
That's like, as long as we can do what they're doing and even it out, we have a chance to grab dragon at the end because of the way the lanes were swapped.
But now you start getting pressure around mid lane. Mid lane is an island until the lane swap is completed, and both teams went for that fast push. And it honestly looked like Cloud9 was trying to make that push much faster than it should have been. Teammate looked like they were just trying to wait for Nien to scale up. Nien always wants that lane swap situation so he can get a turret, he can get his BF sword, he gets the pickaxe now, and then he gets to go into this bottom lane that's being frozen towards balls. So picking up CS here for Nien is going to be a little challenging, especially with Hai looking for some early game moves on this Lee Sin. But that's the thing, is Lee Sin's effectiveness in the jungle drops off a little bit over time, but he's looking to get into these lanes.
Get that snowball going now for people. Trying to get them built up. Goldenglue actually doing a fairly nice job farming, even in CS here, as he's just about pushed into his turret. Any ones that have taken a turret shot have been farmed out by him. So Incarnation able to keep the pressure on, and that might become trouble as Goldenglue is about to run out of mana here. Towards the top side, LemonNation just making sure that Sneaky is safe as some pings go down in the middle. Hai's going to start roaming around.
And he gets that ping ward down. They don't see Hai just yet. They saw him traverse the river, so they know he's in the area.
Clipped him on that ward.
You see him, it looks like they want to just go for a fast shove top, but it's so hard to take a turret from a Shen. It's not going to work out. Hai knows it, so he backs off.
Yeah.
And now the bot lane is being frozen towards Nien. Nien's got a lane. And there's a cannon in his, so... No, it's going to freeze towards him, so Nien is actually in a great situation to just continue farming up. And watching the top laners farms, both Balls and CaliTrolz, is going to be important, because Balls wants to break this freeze. He wants to push it up further, but you can't push it up too far, or else it ends up in front of that tier 2 turret, and then you are just so vulnerable.
Try not to. Flame Spitter every so often, on and off, making sure he trades the damage.
Lemon's coming around right now. Or sorry, not Lemon. Dodo. Dodo coming around.
Walk in, get that Flay first. Keep him slowly in ranged.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
Flash.
It's the TP.
All right, could have got the hook, but he goes for the for sure play here. They want to be able to pick up a kill for themselves. The TP is actually stopped towards the top side of the map. It looks like he may have canceled that himself or got hit up. And another one coming in. A nice assist, actually, to go over to Porpoise. They make sure the kill goes to Nien very nicely. A little bit of time to get that one, but it pays off.
You didn't have the ward coverage to be shoving up that far, and like I said, Balls wanted to break the freeze, and it's so difficult to do early on without items. You can't instantly clear those waves. Punished for it, and they blew his flash and their own flash to be able to get to him. But look at this, CaliTrolz, the other top laner, not as punished. It's so hard to punish this Shen. He has a move block, he has a taunt, he has a shield. And watching these top laners experience and their CS difference and how that changes throughout this post lane swap when turrets are down is important.
CaliTrolz being a troll himself, getting that key strike and Vorpal Blades on, doing a good bit of damage for the chunks, and keeping LemonNation here for this amount of time. I wonder where the roam's going to come from. Hai is actually cutting off anything that would come into the jungle right now, and they're playing very well to this. Communication around the map actually over towards blue now, and I don't think top lane's going to be able to help, unfortunately. So this is actually working out teammates' favor, not too much aggression just to grab the blue buff.
Another big thing too is that kill went over to Nien, the guy who loves lane swaps.
Before,
he has this freeze going for himself, and he's a team fight AD carry. Nien is not the guy who continuously just wins lane. He's the guy who always wants the team to lane swap. He wants to get out of the lane so that he can use his positioning in team fights to his advantage. He's up against a Zed, so when he starts hitting item break points sooner, he'll get to the point where he's okay with getting a QSS to remove the death mark. And it's going to be much earlier the more kills he gets in his tank. So that first kill landing on him is important for the growth of teammate and a bit of the shot calling too.
It's the same thing with a few of his Sivir and Callista games. The laning phase is slow, but he likes the laning phase so he can charge up and then go 11, 2, and 10 on Callista, or have a ton of kills once the fights break out.
He's probably the biggest biggest fan of lane swaps. That's an AD carry.
True. A lot of AD carries and their supports like to go for the kill lane. They want to fight. They want to get the aggression in. They want to use that.
A lot of people
everything they've been practicing.
2v2 me, bro, but that's not what happens here. They know the flash from Balls is down, and he has no turret either.
There's a 3v2 me, bro. A nice jump over, actually. A little bit of a faker game getting played out by Hai. Tries to get the fancy feed in there, but I don't think it's going to work. 1 for 1 so far. Dodo goes down for Balls there. It's kind of like a pawn going down for the bishop or something. Balls goes down. It's a little more worth for teammate.
That's the kill going over to the AP Ezreal.
Yeah.
Goldenglue didn't go for the smite item first. He went for the Sheen because that's sheer fighting power in the mid lane as opposed to wave clear. He's going down bottom. He's got something to save.
Saving onto Nien. Looks like they're going hard on the fight. Nien actually baited in a 2v1 on that with the call of CaliTrolz. Looks like they have enough aggression.
Oh, but here's the TP from Balls. His people need him.
This is going to be big. Nobody actually saw that happen. They're focused on this, tunneling into the fight already. Now he's actually in a 2v1. This doesn't look as enticing as it did before to Balls. He could go down. High is actually just on the edge, but the roam from Dodo is here for a possible Lantern save. And this fight's still going under the turret. Dodo goes hard for Sneaky under the turret. He uses both summoners there. He wasn't able to get over the Tri-Brush wall if he wanted to. And what a messy fight this one turned out to be, as everybody's actually able to get here in time.
Nien overextended. He didn't want to run back into Balls and try to just go towards that huge cluster of people because Incarnation was going to show up with the Deathmark Flash and Ignite. It was pretty much guaranteed death, but here comes Goldenglue trying to get the damage off.
Ooh, down just under 50%. Incarnation knows that burst was it for now. That's the damage he's putting out. He almost walks straight into it. Walks out, knows the Mystic shots could dwindle him down very, very easily. And it looks like they'll start putting up the wards here. They said, I think I walked over a few wards coming up that river. Allowed him to take me out. So let's get that cleared.
He just guessed. Beginner's luck.
Let's get that cleared out. LemonNation will take that under his wing for now. He's on that job. And they'll head back down to the bottom lane. A bit of roaming here. I think C9's just trying to figure out what's going on to the map at this point. Scar knows it. Everybody's been waiting for it. I hear a lot of people saying Ezreal's just getting through. Yeah. Why not pick something against him that's going to counter? Why try these things when you know things out there to counter him?
Yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on the, if you blue side pick AP Ezreal in competitive, you leave yourself open to counter picks and people who are going to red side last pick something that can deal with you, or they set up their comp to deal with you ahead of time, and also a composition that they could flex Ezreal into. Those are the most successful red side pick and bans that we've seen. A lot of blue side Ezreal is falling by the wayside, though.
And just a little bit of damage finally for Incarnation. Push that lane much faster. You see Goldenglue start falling behind now. And we've seen Incarnation on more than one roam already, still up in CS. So it's working out. That counter is definitely helping. Will it be able to get the kills he needs? We'll find out.
Yeah, because now every time that he roams, it gives a chance for Goldenglue to just true shot barrage the wave, side wave, whatever, and then go to a camp and kill it with Smite very quickly. Yeah. Get some mana back up, get some HP, he can trade effectively, and now that he has that item, if he utilizes it correctly, he'll be able to get a big advantage here in CS.
See how he keeps going. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. Dragon is alive. Remember, Dragon 1 went down at 4 minutes and 10 seconds, just about, I think that's 12 minutes earlier than an average Dragon for Cloud9, so they have a different idea to start this game off. See if they keep the pressure in the bottom lane here. Looks like it.
They're trying to keep the pressure up, but you can see Alistar coming in from the side. They know Lemon is wrapping around right now, and they're dedicated to this engage.
Oh boy, they don't know Porpoise is there.
Gone.
Zeroed out, kicked right in the name. He's down, 4-2. They're gonna move up to this turret. I don't think even Incarnation wants to come down here and help this one out. He's still walking over wards up and down the river.
Oh man, he didn't even stand a chance there. 100-0, still had Flash knocked up, CC'd after the hook. Really well played there from teammate Porpoise, just having nerves of steel, standing in that brush, knowing that Alistar is coming up. That could have gone completely the opposite direction if they had allowed Balls to escape. Or get his damage off.
Sneaky. I feel that he already used his Valkyrie. Key strike. Oh! The minions might take him down. He's got his shield to come back up. How'd he live? Absolutely incredible. And Goldenglue pretty much getting a pat on the back from CaliTrolz on that one, saying thanks, bro.
Oh. Nobody expects the true shot barrage from across the map. And the thing is this is Incarnation's lane. He's winning it right now by 16 CS, but Goldenglue is picking
your laner's
up
still getting killed.
2 kills from side lanes
it's so frustrating.
having to leave lane.
Oh, man.
It is so frustrating because you're sitting there going, all right, you know what? I'm winning this lane, guys.
Oh.
It's like, no, you are not winning this lane.
Looks like he wanted that death mark. In Incarnation now, he has walked to different lanes trying to get those kills. The last one we saw him stop behind Dragon and say, never mind, that didn't go the way we wanted it. So while it's countering and he has the CS lead, he's not being able to pick up the map pressure that Goldenglue is right now.
Yeah, even if you just look at the gold, Goldenglue goes for Seeker's Armguard to survive Incarnation, and he's actually 400 gold up over Incarnation, despite the CS that he's down, the 22 CS. Those 2 kills doing work for him, and that turret.
Things can still change. That turret goes down in the mid first, and C9 open up the map. They could be in Goldenglue's face all they want. So the laning phase kind of helping him out here a little bit, allowing him to get those kills in the side lanes as CaliTrolz, like you said, not worrying, going to the last drop in the fight. That time they don't get what they want, high out in safety, but Only 1 assist coming from him as well. He's been farming real hard at 70 to 41 CS in that jungle.
Yeah. You can pick the counter to AP Ezreal, but if he just keeps killing the rest of your team, it doesn't matter what you do. Now they're just swapping their turret destroyer, their sieger, their demolitionist Nien to the mid lane.
Yep.
He has the Infinity Edge, and they're just going to put him in this 2-on-1 and try to siege it down. Bottom lane's going to get shoved in, and they're going to pull Goldenglue down to this CS that's coming in, and he has wave clear with True Shot Barrage and Runeblade. Dragon's up, so they want to shut off these side waves. Shen has TP, also has his ultimate available, so they're ready to go ahead and start this Dragon up as soon as they can get the proper control of that objective and the side waves pushed out.
Well, knowing that Dragon is an option, they give balls 2 pink wards towards the top lane with a few more, keeping him safe so the team can hang out here on the bot side. Looks like they're all going to actually back before this happens. They don't have too much vision on Dragon, so it looks like they're actually going to go ahead and concede this.
Incarnation is doing really well in the CS department. He's at 150 at 15 minutes. He's having a great game in terms of CS. He's the guy that back in week 1, he's just missing CS every now and then.
For sure. Even in recent weeks as well, kind of plagued by that.
And now he just seems more on top of it, more comfortable on this champion with last hitting.
Oh boy.
Fairly easy on Zed.
The firing squad.
As long as he didn't use his shadow, he's going to be relatively okay, yeah. Ooh. Didn't use his shadow to CS. It's pretty much a no-no for Zeds. Don't use your shadow.
Oh, more. Wow, that was a very risky path. That's the one you think about yourself. Is this safe? No, it's not safe, but I'll still take it.
They wouldn't do that. No. And then they do it, and you have to run away.
That was scary. Valkyrie keeping him alive, though. Didn't have to blow any summoner spells. Those are up for every member on the map. So the next fight we get is going to be glorious. Everybody can go to the full extent on that one. Blade of the Rune King finish for Incarnation. He'll kill pressure up a little bit more. And looks like Goldenglue is going to get that armor in his Seeker's Arm Guard quite early so he can keep up with Incarnation's damage.
And he also went for the boots fairly early as well before his second item, making sure he has that CDR to continuously poke and at least stay up in CS with Incarnation. You can see he's slowly closing this gap a tiny bit. He's throwing out the True Shot Barrage as much as he can to actually pick up side waves. Cali, he was on the other side of him. Here comes Porpoise, though.
Dash, he's fine. He should be okay.
Make sure Porpoise in the area.
Not able to do much. Yeah, Porpoise right behind him. It looks like mid lane's getting pushed in. I was going to say they're trying for pressure.
Yeah, but bottom lane, though, Incarnation is alone here. Nobody's moving towards him right now. CaliTrolz is backing to get towards this bottom lane. Red buff is up. It's vulnerable to a take by Incarnation if he's got the presence of mind to do so. He can shove these waves up to the turret, but that's what they're looking for here. I talked about the split push from C9. They have this option, and we saw split push work against an AP Ezreal last game, but it was split push that had collapse attached to it.
I feel like right now, the old C9 could work around and through a team. Right now, working around teams works absolutely perfect for them. Able to get those lanes pushed, able to keep Incarnation somewhere where he's not getting aggressed on and can continuously create pressure. It's kind of pulling teammate thin in some areas, but this True Shot Barrage, nope. I thought I was going to clear mid. I was going to say they can keep pressure up, but he's just looking for blue on that one. 2 minutes to come up on Baron. We're still quite early in this game. High putting through a pink ward as they start to move up and try to aggress on the mid lane here. Getting a little bit of coverage before they make any more moves, that's for sure.
With rank 2 True Shot Barrage and
go in the bush.
140 AP, it's hitting for 700. You take the first hit of the True Shot Barrage.
That stings.
700 damage.
It stings.
LemonNation has 1582 HP, so it's half of LemonNation's HP bar before resistance. That's just dirty.
Alistar left up. I was thinking where the Braum comes into play on that one, but with Alistar left up, there's not much you can do. Then again, it was left up for him. So, still a good pick. See if they can start getting some tramples in if they do happen to get to any fights. Sneaky clearing out the mid lane.
The Braum is a much better pick against something like a Jace.
Right.
For instance,
because more constant.
Exactly. Ezreal's is so constant. His poke is just very low cooldown, very frequent.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to pretty much save it for his ultimate. Otherwise, he would poke you a bunch and then ulti after you E'd.
Just wait for that to go down.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. 5-2 here as we come up on 20 minutes into the game. See if things can start clicking for Cloud9. I heard Sneaky in some of his videos when the change was being made. That it just did not work out for them. trying to find that once again. Teammate now with Goldenglue in the mid lane seems to be holding things together pretty well for the team recently and bringing out a few more champions than they had before.
We haven't seen anything this game from Incarnation. I don't believe he's used his ultimate a single time.
You'd think that would at least happen once, even to push Goldenglue out of lane, right? You see that multiple times. It's just a, hey, take this, get out of lane, let me pressure somewhere else.
Yeah, but with the changes to the ultimate, you can't snap back for a second.
Right.
So it's very risky when he takes it. There's some counterplay to it with the Shen, with the Thresh,
Very true.
And even the Jarvan. So if he dove in onto Goldenglue and Goldenglue E backwards, he would trade an E and a turret shot for his ultimate. Well, he would take a turret shot, so basically just an E and some damage from the death mark for an ultimate and a turret shot. Doesn't seem worth it. He has to find those opportune moments to actually execute on it. And there just hasn't been any that's presented themselves.
No.
And they haven't been created by Cloud9 either. Looking
Oh!
Oh!
I thought he was going to safeguard over to Lemon, but he's got a safeguard over to a ward. Was not in range. 1 minute on to Dragon here. Teammate holding strong, but starting to lose their towers. And this is going to allow Cloud9 a little bit more inside the jungle. Maybe start using this aggressive composition that they've put together. I was saying before, Incarnation usually plays safe, and he's still doing it on this side.
Yeah, he's trying to split push top, trying to get as much CS as possible. He's playing the farm game, the
well, at this
pressure
point,
game.
right, at this point, you just split push.
Yeah, they're trying to just come back from that tiny deficit they have, that 1,000 gold, those 3 kills. They've gotten the turrets back and evened those up, as well as the dragons. But Balls still needs some CS. He has his core items here, but he's looking for levels, he's looking for CS. And Incarnation is just splitting out of his mind right now, trying to split push as much as possible to create pressure. And Ezreal, Goldenglue, he already got his Zhonya's Hourglass. So he's not going to be your target for the death mark.
No. Fast build for him onto that. Not even deciding a Quicksilver Sash and just going for more. Well, it's still damage. It's APS.
Yes.
But absolutely changing him from a glass cannon to a little bit safer now. Not seeing too many Ezreals pick that up as early. See where Incarnation decides to go with his attacks from here on out. Right now, he's only got to fend off CaliTrolz in the top lane. And we'll see if that teleport can actually come into play if Teammate can get onto a turret fast now. Balls is in the bot lane with his up, but the Shen moving in could be what they need to get what they want.
Yeah. Oh.
That's going to be the Shen ultimate. It's got to go on the end if they want it. He hits it right there, and they do get the fight out of the mid lane, pressuring the turret. Exactly what they were looking for. That's going to be going on to high. He's forced out of the fight. They, however, tunneled a bit too much. Incarnation, he walked all the way over from that split push. That was the Stand United from CaliTrolz to come in. They thought they had a bit more time to play with, but Cloud9 collapsed nicely.
Oh, he's still going for Nien.
Oh, Nien goes down as well in this one.
Cali looking. Oh, he's gonna get it. Oh!
So that did play out nicely to Teammate's favor. They got a fight in front of the turret, but Cloud9 was kind of thinking the same thing already.
Well, the way that it got started, LemonNation had poised it, had made sure everybody was ready. That was a prepped fight of start this, and then the TP from Balls was already on its way.
Right.
He was able to TP to the backline and equalizer perfectly. Dodo, though, oh, he's not picking on the right people. Incarnation still has ulti. Incarnation has yet to use his ulti still this game.
That last bit of turret health, it makes people do crazy things. You have Porpoise on the back, but that last bit of turret health, it makes you do crazy things.
You think it's going to defend you? Help me! Yeah, Lemon,
Let's see this fight again.
Right here. He dives in, and Balls TP starts now.
Right behind, yep, there it is.
Yeah, he comes in, and then his equalizer across multiple people, boom, hits 3. They all have to go to the left into Incarnation, who comes into the side, and Balls is just here ready to clean up, and then just dipping in and out. Teammate, in that scenario, your target selection has to be on point. Everybody has to listen to where their damage needs to be focused, because you're going to be switching targets very frequently.
Yep.
At first, go Lemon. Then it's go high. High dove out, get Sneaky. Sneaky's out. Who do we go on now?
Yeah.
Whereas C9, it was just go after this person because they're all clustered. Flame Spitter across all of them, and you'll pick up this fight. Really well executed from C9. The collapse was on point.
Ooh, half HP. Just about exactly there for Sneaky. He picks up blue. He'll be firing out more rockets as they can kind of take a breather here. Should lose this turret quite quick in the mid lane. If Teammate is actually able to start coming back with some offense, that is.
And Sorry, you beat an AP Ezreal by hard engaging on it and flanking. And the flanks coming in here are just really well executed. It was both solo laners coming from the backside, and that's how you shut it down. And like I said, Incarnation didn't even have to use his ultimate there, didn't really get an opportunity to. I'm waiting to see how quickly he blows somebody on this team up that isn't CaliTrolz.
It's the ward game for now, but this is some things that start a war sometimes. Looks like everybody backs off of that one. Wards towards the Baron pit, keeps Cloud9 safe in that area. Not that they're going to do it, but also any invades to their jungle are completely stopped here. Teammate forced to stay on their side of the map pretty much since the beginning of the game. The lane swap seemed to work out for them a little bit, but then just kind of fizzled out.
It's a tricky situation because you keep splitting these, you keep pushing these waves, you split push. Baron is honestly on the table for C9, baiting the Baron and possibly doing it.
You're right, they have 2 blades.
You have exactly 2 blades of the Ruined King. You're able to take it down fairly quickly. You just need somebody who has more armor on them, though.
Right.
That's the only thing they're lacking is somebody with armor.
If you got enough time for Cowall, it'll be good.
That's true.
Unbreakable will, but then you got to make sure you're not in an entire
Exactly. You have to make sure that you're never going to pull off that Baron and that you're going to do it. So if they're able to find or pick off 1 or 2 people, they're able to execute on that. But you can't go to the Baron when there's an AP Ezreal that can just poke you in the pit over and over again.
Who's hopefully slowing down a little bit. The kills came from lane. We see now that he's broken out of lane and not true shot barraging left and right. Not picking up as much. Still down in CS throughout that since the laning phase is broken now. Most of that farm is going over to the AD carries at this point. Team 8 trying to break down the wards inside their jungle. The security system that Cloud9 has put up finally getting whittled out.
It's pretty even across the board here in terms of gold. Mid laners are even. Yeah. Bot lane is even.
2 to 3 in kills. Those guys are carrying it.
It's the jungle. High is up 1,500 gold over Porpoise Pops right now.
Wow.
And they both have the same number of assists.
Yeah.
Top lane is also 1,000 up in favor of balls. He has those kills in his scoreline. So that's where that's coming from. But High's gold generation this game.
They have wards where they don't even need wards. Like if balls were to go back into the bottom lane where we saw him die the first time, instantly he would be completely warded out for pushing forward now. 36 seconds for Dragon. These wards will grandfather themselves over into the right spot. We see him placing down a few more there for Cloud9 so they can have safe vision and safe control over this. Another objective should go their way. We will have Team 8, however. Actually, pretty good timing. They should make it out to Dragon in time.
Dragon 15 seconds. They're already set up for it. They're actually looking what looks like a pick rush before the Dragon because there's no vision control from Team 8 anywhere near the Dragon. They're looking for picks here. They have the champions to execute on it as well.
2 upgraded sweepers already allows them to get more wards cleared than really they need to. Very good for them.
Field goal.
True shot barrage. Yeah, gets it right through the uprights. I don't know if they're going to try to work off that. Just true shot barrage being down isn't enough to want to go on this. Right on a ward.
It's slightly convincing, though. They have a lot of damage. They'll go straight for it. Porpoise has vision of this. He has flash, but he also has a lantern to get out, so it's not a huge risk. And he'll just get right out.
It's done. 4th Dragon of the game, 2 to 2 now. All equaled up on those objectives. Righteous Glory is finished up here for Dodo. Some picks possibly get Porpoise into the right spot, and you could have a very locked down fight from Team 8 here if Cloud9 moves wrong.
Yeah, Goldenglue went to the bottom lane to clear it, so they get all this time to clear out the Baron pit. They get themselves their pink wards down. They're able to get that Scuttle Crab and ward up. Now they're in a position to pick. And the ultimate down again, and it's still not hitting immensely hard because Locket is already completed onto High.
Yep.
He has the magic resistance that he needs to deal with this.
See if they're going for any other. Looks like all the items are going to be personal. No more shields, heals coming out on that side. Looks like it's just going to be regular buys and a Righteous Glory from LemonNation. Easy said, easy done.
Righteous Glory will help them get into these fights to get to that backline of Nien and Goldenglue, who honestly are pretty much the 2 sole damage dealers of this composition. Shen, of course, he does do a decent amount of damage, but when you're looking at a Rumble, a Zed, and the Corki, that's a lot of damage that's mixed. Corki's going to do both types, and then a physical and a magic damage dealer solely that are pretty high in terms of how much damage they do.
Oh yeah. You got a huge front end burst, and then even some to follow up after as well, depending on how chaotic the fight is. Oh, another blue buff over to Sneaky. Things have really, really slowed down here, giving the time for Goldenglue to ramp up a little bit more with his builds. That also means everybody on Cloud 9 is going to be getting a few items. Looking at Summoners once again. Looks like just a few smites are down. Every defensive or offensive ability is up here, and more core items means more explosive fighting. We said it was about 30 kills in 30 minutes last time these two teams fought. Much more measured in that sense of play. 30 minutes, it's only 6 to 7 here.
Yep. Minute 30. Still waiting on that Incarnation ulti. one day. Legend has it. Still waiting to...
Legend has it, if you don't use your death mark up at 30 minutes, the first one kills the entire opposing team.
So it was written.
Confirmed on stream. Hashtag lies told here. We do want to fight, though.
Yeah, they do.
Getting a little quiet on the home front here between both teams. It seems like they're just saying, I can place more wards than you can place at this point. Baron seems like it will be the final straw that's going to break the camel's back here and where a fight could break out, or over a ward for Baron. But either way, it's going to be a big fight. There's no real true engage, disengage for either, or I'm sorry, there's no real disengage for either team here. They're going to be in the fight once they get in. They all have engage.
Yeah, that's true, but Goldenglue can skitter around these fights. Since he's ramping up more and more, Luden's Echo.
Whoa, there's a little bit of it.
Coming into his inventory.
They actually tried to zero him out. True Shot Barrage on top of the Buckshot collateral damage, thinking it would be enough. Get the safety over to Sneaky, but he's going to be off of the Baron now. He's going back to base, and LemonNation's coming out.
The targets are just getting more and more resilient from Incarnation. Nien now has QSS. I talked about the kills going over to him and how early he's going to have that item. Gets it third. Zonya's Hourglass already completed on Ezreal. So Goldenglue has his. Ooh. Looking.
Oh, Jarvan's helping. Porpoise on the backside. Balls and Sneaky inside. LemonNation headbutts him out of his own Cataclysm. They're on to Balls. They take him down. Rumble ultimate goes out, but doesn't affect too much of Team 8. On to Sneaky as the death sentence misses. They have LemonNation even with Unbreakable Will on. And that could be the kill. The flash at the end of the taunt. The Mystic shots hit from the follow-up in the flash of Goldenglue. And the team starts to lock down Cloud9. 4 members down. Incarnation forced to watch Baron now. See if he can do something.
He was split pushing, and they started the fight off without him. It was they were able to just close it with Porpoise Pops. Decisive call there from Team 8. Now it's Incarnation versus the world.
That was even kind of a miss-engage coming out. The Righteous Glory missed and the Thresh missed, and Porpoise said, we still have this. Incarnation's off on the side. Incarnation now in the front, in the face of Team 8, and he cannot do much. He throws out the shurikens, but it will not hit the Baron, and has to shadow away from this one. True Shot almost walks right into it. And Nien, they're going to be able to take him down. He tried to use just about everything to get out of there. Saves his summoners, though, as he should.
And his ulti.
And his ulti.
I'm still waiting for it.
You'll see it.
It should have killed the whole team there, right? In the pit?
Maybe.
That's how it works.
Actually, you know what?
They go ahead. They engage with Porpoise Pops, starting the fight out.
Yeah.
And then High was looking for a kickback, is what it looked like. Gets hooked. And now Incarnation is spending all this time trying to run there. And there's no turret for him to split push either. He would have to be on an inhibitor turret. It would take him so long. Beautiful, beautiful layering there. Sneaky still had flash at that time as well.
And if you look at where that fight came from, teammates almost next to the engagement spot. There's a pink ward there. There was another pink ward below it near Wolves. That was the first time Cloud9 did not have vision of the blue side jungle, and it cost them their first big fight.
And the Baron afterward.
Yep.
So they had so much control of the Baron on Cloud9's side, and as soon as Team 8 was able to take that fight, it's because they had the vision control and they were able to start it off. Usually, you don't want to start the fight off when you have the AP Ezreal. You want to bait them into you, but when it's a 4v5, you definitely want to pick that fight.
Ooh, Incarnation down below half already, and this hasn't really even started the engage on the turret. Not enough minions to get themselves too far up. Dragon coming up in 1 second. That'll be number 3 here. Both teams have done a good job of juggling that back and forth throughout the game. Now it seems like Teammate has started to grab a bit of a stranglehold. It was just a few minutes ago, 2,000 gold in the favor of Cloud9 due to these turrets getting dropped. But the fights and turrets now making a good amount of gold. And
CaliTrolz.
3,000 gold lead for Teammate.
Cali's just split pushing, and they're getting this mid turret. Incarnation, though, looking to see what he can do against CaliTrolz. It's not much, though. In terms of death mark targets, he really only has 1 or 2 now. He can't really go after CaliTrolz. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage. It would be kind of, he'd look for an explosive assist there from balls. They would have to focus him down. Not an ideal target. Going after Goldenglue, you'd have to wait until his Zhonya's is gone. You'd wait for the QSS from Nien. There isn't really anything else on this team, though, that he would QSS.
Yeah, and there's nothing on Cloud9 either that's going to put people in a position to ult anyways. You're not chunking them down. Everybody's dodging Sneaky's rockets right now. He can't put too much out. He's trying to clear these minions.
They're so durable, though, and he's pretty much their sole wave clear. Here comes the TP just to keep it alive and get them a turret. Incarnation is split pushing. He's doing what Hai would do on Zed, but they might lose more for this. They have 2 AD carries, essentially, 2 marksmen. They're going to get this turret.
Pressure not enough here from Incarnation. He's going to try as he might to get damage on this inhibitor turret. It will heal itself back up as we head down. He's down to about 60% on that turret.
Oh, he's not even going to get it because the quick recall from CaliTrolz. CaliTrolz is here, and you can't take it while the Shen is there.
Not even with home guard yet. Teammates been on the forefront of this game, not even worried about base control. So they back. CaliTrolz just waltzes out of base. Oh, man.
Oh, they traded nothing. That wasn't even a trade. They were robbed.
Yep.
They just had turrets and an inhibitor taken from them, and they didn't get anything save for some tiny inhibitor turret damage.
We'll see what calls can be made from the side of Cloud9 here. The whole team probably participating within that towards the late game, keeping all the information on the up and up for everyone. Just getting near 40 minutes for this one. 5-0-3 Goldenglue in the mid lane. We even heard Aura say there was the counter coming in from Incarnation here, and he was not put down in that lane.
Well done.
The CS is there, but he was able to do everything else he needed to for the team.
Yeah, like True Shot Barrage, snipe 2 kills to help yourself stay 400 gold ahead of somebody who's 30, 40 CS ahead of you in lane. Just Goldenglue picking up those kills were really big for how Incarnation was able to execute. Because as soon as the Zhonya's came out, Incarnation was relegated to having to split push to even be relevant in this game. He's picked up so many levels for himself, but Goldenglue has as well at the same time. It's level 17 on both mid laners, despite Incarnation getting a ton of solo farm.
Looking at levels, 15 for balls, 17 for CaliTrolz here. Like 80 carries, fit 16, so that's good.
Goldenglue's picked up so much jungle CS on top of things as well, so he's getting experience from that, he's getting experience from the lane, and then CaliTrolz is the one getting the solo experience in the side waves.
Seems like Hai was able to keep himself up and above Porpoise the entire time with farm, what he was doing. They weren't trying to aggress the lanes too much. Not at fault, it's what they wanted to do, but not playing in their favor.
Yeah, despite 2 more turrets going over to Teammate and 5 more assists onto Porpoise Pops, or Porpoise, Hai is still 700 gold up.
Right.
But it's the jungler. At this point, the jungler just has those core items. You have a magic resist item for your team, you have your Sightstone, you have everything that you're going to want.
Yeah.
You have the armor to possibly tank a Baron or a turret. Honestly, that gold is better used on somebody else and is better used earlier on if they can get it. But he was just picking up things, and let's see. Oh, stunted there. He couldn't get through.
He tried to go for the play. You see the flash after he dove in as well. He still goes in, goes for the kick anyways. They want him off the inhibitor. Hai got exhausted during that, so it wasn't much damage to follow through as well. But they get good summoner spells out of Teammate. Doesn't bother Teammate at all. They're going to head on for the inhibitor. They're going to be able to take the second one down here. Looking at a full team of Cloud9. They've just pushed them back to the fountain because they have so much control over these fights. Through the wall, Nien goes for the True Grit, or rather the dash in. And then with the True Grit passive, no fight coming back from Incarnation. He's too strong. Also has the Quicksilver Sash if he wants to. Quick draw. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Words are tough.
Oh!
I haven't seen Graves in a while.
That was quick, too. This will be the 3rd inhibitor going down for Team 8. Cloud9 on the back foot.
Wow.
Pretty much all game. There was 1 or 2 points. They might be going for the throat here. They might be trying to end the game.
Just under 40 minutes. They're looking at the Nexus turrets. Hopefully not tunneling too much. Shot towards Sneaky brings them down to about 80%. LemonNation gets zeroed out and chopped up. Ground beef for dinner tonight. CaliTrolz very low, but he's still able to stay in. He's got some 1,000 HP probably already in that bar still. crazy stuff. These guys so far ahead, able to methodically take these fights, push each other in and out, taking the right amount of damage, and they are going to take down Cloud9 methodically in the end. Coming up on 40 minutes, 15-7. The Nexus goes down, and Team 8 take down Cloud9.
And they push Cloud9 just a little bit further down in the standings. Cloud9 now just right above TDK.
Strong play for Team 8 here on the second half of the split in a few games. Enemy win in week 5 as they started off this one. Now to take down Cloud9. It's going to be a very tough week for them next week, though. Team Solo Mid and Impulse is what Team 8's week 7 looks like. So they need to buckle down even more and work off of this momentum.
But they just beat Cloud9, meaning that this is going to be a much closer race at the bottom.
That's true.
Putting their head-to-head record 1-1. So if they do end up tying at the end of the season, they would have to play a tiebreaker instead of Cloud9 having that 2-0 over them. So that was huge for Team 8, a much-needed victory for them in the standings.
Very good point. The Cloud9 did take this first victory against Team 8. That was back in week 3. Excuse me. You see, remember the Incarnation Varus play in that one, and they were able to take it. So, good point on the 1-1. We may see these guys have to match up once again as we go down the split. Strong play from Goldenglue in the mid lane, making it work, playing off the ball. True shot barrages to the outside lanes, very much so slowed down once the laning phase broke. But he was able to still stick with it. 5-0-7 in the end, and the Zanya's Rust seemed like the right thing to do for his roomplay of Ezreal.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the right thing to do. Incarnation was starved of targets to actually ulti that game.
Yeah.
He didn't ulti the entire game. Zed did not use his R in his kit once this game. And that is huge. The fact that Goldenglue and Nien, man on your screen, got early kills, got towards their item spikes faster, and then they were able to press that. The big turning point in the game, though, was that 4v5 engage that was called. The engage from Porpoise, the follow-up from Cali, and the way that they executed that fight.
The fake flay from Dodo. Oh, the plays. Even the Righteous Glory was a little bit short, but it did not stop them. Team 8 took a hold of that one chance that they had.